welcome back to the Brianna and Devin toy channel. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to do another DIY since I haven't done one in a while. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own snow globe without water. And I did try making it with water and it didn't really go well because I tried making it with a photo, much like this one. And I used tape to laminate it instead of like an actual laminator, and it just didn't work out at all. So this way, if you don't have a laminator and you only have tape to laminate your photo and you want to make something that looks like a snow globe but isn't like actually a snow globe, this is the perfect DIY for you. So here's one that I've been working on. It's just a picture of my family, and yeah. So for this DIY, you're going to need a mason jar or just a clear jar like this. And then if you have like a snow globe kind of globe, you can use that as well. You're also going to need some glue. It doesn't need to be that strong. It just needs to hold glitter because we're going to put glitter around here. You're also going to need, of course, some pictures. I just printed out these pictures because this is going to be the second one that I make, because these are gifts for my family. You're also going to need some clear packaging tape, and yes, it does need to be clear. And if you want to paint the top of your jar, you also need some paint, and then some scissors to cut out the pictures, of course. And you're also going to need some glue. It could be basically any glue. And then if your picture needs to like stand up, you're also going to need some bottle caps. I can't take it out, but you know, bottle caps. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right on into the DIY. So the first thing you're going to want to do after printing out your pictures is just cut them out. And this one got like some ink on it, so I'm not going to use that, but I recommend using 2 pictures so you can make your photo inside of it front and back. So I'm just going to cut these out. Alright guys, so once you have cut out your 2 pictures, if they are just square and fit together perfectly, then you're in luck. You can just skip this next step. But if you see like white poking through when you put them together, then you're going to want to cut off that white because you want them to line up and look like one picture that's like front and back. So I suggest taking some tape, and it shouldn't be that strong because we're not going to hold this together like this permanently. But just go ahead and tape the 2 together like this. So I lightly tape them together like this. And now all you have to do is just cut off all of the white edges, but make sure that they line up pretty well because you don't want to accidentally cut off like an important part. So yeah, hopefully you guys know what I mean, but now I'm just going to kind of shape everything up and make it look nice and pretty. Alright guys, so now it looks like this. It looks much better, as you can see, and it looks, you know, just cleaner. So now I'm going to take my cardboard, and hopefully I mentioned this in the materials list that I said in the beginning. So I'm going to take my cardboard and basically just trace this around the cardboard, and then I'm going to cut it out once I've traced it. So as you can see, I just traced it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like right here. And now I'm going to cut it out. Alright, so here I have it all cut out. This is what it looks like. Again, it doesn't really matter what you have on the cardboard because no one's going to see that. But now I'm just going to go ahead and use the weak tape once again. It doesn't really matter what tape you use, but that's just the tape I'm going to use. And then just tape your pictures to the front side and also the back side. Alrighty, so this is what it's looking like now. I think it's really nice to have the cardboard because it just adds an extra layer so it doesn't get too wobbly. And now if there's any cardboard peeking out, just go ahead and trim that off because you don't really want any of that showing. But after that, you are ready to start moving on to actually gluing it in place. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention this, but before you start gluing, you actually want to take your packaging tape, so this tape right here, and you want to cover this image in the packaging tape in order to laminate it. But if you have a laminator, you can always use that. And if you have a laminator, you don't even have to, you can actually add water to your snow globe because it'll be completely sealed and waterproof. But this packaging tape is not. So I definitely do not recommend putting in water if you have only packaging tape. But you just want to take your tape, really cover your whole image in this tape, making sure that there are no bubbles. This might be a little tricky depending on what shape your image is. As you can see, this one is very different shaped than like a regular square or rectangular image. So you might have to be extra careful with your tape if you have a picture like mine. Alright guys, so now once your image is completely covered with tape, just go ahead and press down on any air bubbles to make them go away, and just make sure it is super duper sealed because we don't want the tape coming off. Alright, and now it should look like this. If you have a rectangular image or like a square image, you won't have to do this step, but you don't really want like clear background in the back. Like you don't really want this tape showing, so I'm just gonna trim around a pretty short border around my whole image, but making sure that you don't like actually trim exactly along the line of your image, if that makes any sense, because you want to make sure you leave a very tiny border of tape. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. Alright guys, so this is now what it looks like. As you can see, I left like a tiny, 2 millimeters of a border around the image just to make sure that the tape stays shut. But yeah, now you are ready to glue. So, alright guys, so I'm actually filming this the next day, but now once you have your image right here and it's ready to be glued, you want to take either like a bottle cap, or you can even just glue it to the bottom of your jar or like the lid of your jar. And you want to take some strong glue to do this. It doesn't need to be hot glue or E6000 glue, but you just want to make sure that it is strong enough to just hold it in place. And since this one actually doesn't really fit on the bottle cap, as you can see, I'm just going to be gluing it to the bottom of the jar, but I'm not using this jar, I'm using another one, so I'll show you that later. But I'm just going to glue it to like the bottom, and yeah, basically just want to glue your image in place. So here is an image, or another example of an image that I already glued into place. For this one I actually used 3 or actually 4 different bottle caps, just stacked them up, and then I just kind of glued it on there like that. And it is double-sided, as you can see, and this is on top of the lid of the jar, and this is the jar I'm actually going to be using for it. So once you have your image glued in place, I suggest preparing your jar. But if you want to glue your image to the bottom of your jar, make sure to not glue it yet, because if you want to make your jar super dazzled up, sparkly, really nice looking, you want to just add some of your clear Elmer's glue. You could also use any clear glue. I'm sure hot glue would probably work as well, but you just want to basically just kind of drizzle it around as you're tilting it like that. And then use like a paintbrush or a sponge of some sort and just kind of spread the glue around. And you want to get it on the bottom, because we're going to turn it around like this. And you just want to basically spread that glue all around. And then you want to get your glitter. And sorry if I forgot to include this in the materials list, but just get some glitter and then kind of just take your glitter and sprinkle it like this as you're turning your jar around. And then you can always just replace the glitter in different spots if you want. But once that is done, and if you want to put your image down there, you can do that. But since I already have it glued to my top of my lid, all you have to do is just now get the fake snow. So if you have sugar or fake snow would be preferable, but I know not a lot of people have fake snow. You just want to get like a cup of it and basically just dump it into your mason jar or jar. This is going to act as the fake snow, just like you would have in like a snow globe. But if you don't have the fake snow, you can always just hole punch a lot of white pieces of paper like this. And I have a lot of them saved right here, and this can be your snow. That is what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna get a bunch of those little white hole punched circles, and I'll get back to you guys once I've done that. Alright guys, so now once you have hole punched everything and put it in your jar, it should look like this. You could put way more if you want. You don't even have to do this step if you don't think it would look good with it. It's really up to you, but this is just how much I put. I kind of got tired of doing it, so I just put this much. But you can always add more later if you would like. So now the next step is to grab the lid of your mason jar or jar, and now we're just gonna put it in. So my picture is like way bigger than the actual top of it, so kind of have to bend it a little bit. But this is kind of what it should look like once it is in there. And then once everything is set up, you can kind of just put in your snow and it looks like this. So I really like how this looks. I think it is super cute, and then just like a snow globe, you can just kind of, I know you can't really see here. Here's my face. You can kind of just move it up and down like this, and all the snow will go up and down. And it's just a really fun DIY little project to do. Definitely recommend it. But if you like it like this, you can of course just end the DIY right here, and this would be your finished product. But if you're like me and you want to take it another step further, it is time to paint the lid. Alright guys, so I decided to paint this blue. So let's go ahead and do that. To paint this, obviously you're just gonna need like a paintbrush or just something to paint it with. I'm just gonna use this sponge thing that I used earlier to paint on the glue, just because I think it would be easiest. So yeah, basically just paint the whole lid. Okay, so it is now like a week later because I cannot find time to film this video, but here is the finished painted lid, and as you can see, it looks really nice, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, I just really love how this turned out. You can of course add more things inside if you would like. Like, I feel like I didn't really add that much snow, but you can of course add more if you'd like. Now, just to finish this off, I didn't include this in the materials list because you don't need it, but I'm just gonna add a ribbon around this just to make it a little extra, a little prettier. So let me go grab a ribbon. So I actually just used some white yarn because I thought that looked pretty cool, and I just tied a little bow. So yeah, this looks absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend that you jazz it up with a little ribbon or some yarn. So yeah guys, that was about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is the final product of our little DIY here. Really hope you enjoyed watching, and as you can see, it's really cool and it has snow in it. So adorable. So yeah, you can really make this with anything you want. It's a great alternative for non-water snow globes. So yeah, definitely recommend. I also want to show you guys another one that I made. So I actually haven't made it yet because I tried to make it before and it didn't work out, but this time I perfected it. So here I'm gonna show you it in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so hopefully that was a pretty good transition. I'm not the best with transitions, but here is the other one that I created. So yeah, I put like a lot more glitter in this one, and like I said, really you can put whatever picture you want. This one, if you cannot already tell, is just a picture of this. And yeah, so yeah, I really love this DIY. I think it is super fun. It is not that hard to create either, and it is just a really good decoration, room decor kind of thing. Okay, so basically I just added a little bow, just like I did with the other snow globe that I made, and this one was actually made out of pipe cleaner. I just wanted to see how that would look, and I actually really like how it turned out. It looks really clean, and I basically just used a separate pipe cleaner to make this bow, and then I just wrapped like one to go around, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I am obsessed with how these turned out. And as you can see, you can make it with the lid on top or the lid on the bottom. It's really up to you. They're just super duper fun. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel to see more fun videos like this one, and once you've done that, click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. And you can also comment down below any video suggestions or anything you want. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!